Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. It is now time for Ask the County with Saginaw County Treasurer Tim Novak. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning.
I do like him quite a bit, but we are practicing social distancing,
yes,
right?
We're modeling.
We are definitely modeling that for everyone. You know, we're talking so much now about coronavirus. I mean, it's out there every single day. It's almost like an overload. So tell me how it's affecting us in our community. How are the courts affected in Saginaw County?
So in our community, the courthouse made the decision yesterday to close the building to the public. So what that means is that folks are inside the buildings and operating as normal as possible. You know, so in regard to the courts, they've canceled all jury trials. They got as many hearings out of the way yesterday. They're doing some anything by video that they can do. They'll conduct things by hearings by video. A lot of the you can mail in payments. Ran into somebody looking to make a friend of the court payment this morning, and they were told you can mail those types of payments in. So even the courts are going to a mail, and but always make sure you phone call first. Check the website. I know they're trying to be as active as possible in updating those kinds of things. Yeah,
okay. So now we've also had some calls about delinquent taxes, and I know we talked about this last week, but will that be extended?
So the foreclosure deadline, the 83 county treasurers, we had a big call yesterday, and you can imagine all the different opinions of 83 treasurers and all the attorneys. We've asked the governor, we're working through our local emergency managers and working through the governor to have that foreclosure deadline of March 31st extended, hopefully till the end of May. And then we get confirmation on that this week, then we will really, we'll read that out. In the meantime, we are really stressing to folks, once again, you can make your payments through the mail, certified funds through the mail. You can make your payments online. And always call the treasurer's office if you need to know how much you owe. We're figuring that most everything we can do in our office over the telephone. We can do those types of things.
And what about the sheriff's office? That's a huge one as well.
So the sheriff's office is another one. So those folks, I mean, our deputies are going to be out responding to calls and keeping us safe. The jail is open and operating. They're keeping those folks as isolated as they can there. But it's they went through. I think a lot of the nonviolent folks might have been released over the over the weekend. It was this prep time over the weekend of trying to find out to limit the exposure even for those folks.
Now I know the health department right now has to be just bombarded, but do they have some extra services available as well?
Yeah, so once again, you want to really make sure that you make those phone calls. There's a lot of the stuff that they're offering, they're kind of trying to put off if they can. A lot of the service that they're putting off. A lot of the public awareness type stuff is the stuff that's ramped up, the communications with the public, the communications with healthcare providers, with the hospitals, to really to be engaged with, with how the community is acting and reacting to what's happening out there.
Now, Tim, we all know that our elderly, we're so concerned about them right now because they're a population that is susceptible to the coronavirus. Tell me what types of programs or things are out there for the Commission on Aging for the elderly?
So Commission on Aging is continuing to offer their Meals on Wheels program. And then there's other folks out there and other organizations that are providing, meals for kids and access to elderly. And then I think just the word of mouth to spread to folks that if you know an elderly friend or you have an elderly friend, make that phone call to find out, do they need an errand run for them? Maybe they need, you can go to the store for them. You can do so. Nursing homes are on lockdown, and my wife can't visit her mom. She's in a nursing home, and so think of the stress on folks that normally care for their elderly or visit. Are we keeping an eye on those folks for their mental health? How are you doing? Are we asking questions and understanding that folks that are, maybe we didn't call every day, we try to call my mother-in-law every day. Try to make those connections with folks that are inside, because they're getting their needs met, for as far as food and stuff, but making sure that others are getting their needs met. Maybe they need an errand run.
And even just a knock on the door. You can talk to the door and just let them know.
You can go next. You can go to your neighborhoods and folks in your neighborhood. Do you need anything? Is there something you need help with? So to keep. Well, it's like the whole village mentality, right? I think we had this discussion just a couple weeks ago. It's the same. What can we do to help each other?
We have to. It takes a village.
It does.
It still does. Now, so how can people find out more about more about each county office and the adjustments that are being made during this time?
So it's really fluid as far as what cities, counties, and townships, what they're open, what do they have available for services. Make sure that you either call first or go on their website and find out. I went to a meeting on Friday morning and it had been canceled, just the hour before that. I mean, it's, the courthouse is closed. The board meeting that was scheduled tonight is canceled or postponed for now. So really make sure that you're checking. And remember, closed doesn't necessarily mean that they can't provide you some of the services that you may need.
Because there's online and there's a phone call.
Online, there's phone calls, there's stuff, via the mail that we're not used to. So really dive in and make those phone calls. Most of these places are open for business, just not to the public for us to go in by foot.
Great information, Tim. Now, this information is not meant to scare anyone. It's just meant to keep you informed and keep everyone updated on the services that are available during this time.
Absolutely.
Please, like you're saying, they're not closed. You can still access them as a phone call, online, and other ways. Okay, thank you so much for joining us, Tim. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask the county, just send them to WNEM at WNEM.com.